What's up, brother? You know, we've been working hard for a long time, you know what I mean? And this is basically makes me happy, and to see my dad that he's able to buy himself, you know, a house with a big private gym. I know there's a lot of things that we could accomplish, and there's a lot of things that we could give back, not only to our people, but to our community, you know what I mean? We got a lot of fighters here. One of our friends painted this. He goes to the first Benavidez boxing gym, the one in Burien. He paints them all himself, so he's a talented brother. So but yeah, this is my dad's design, you know what I mean? This is actually my first time, you know, starting training camp here in this gym.
Stretch it down, pull it up. Ready, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed.
Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez are sharing a training camp as they both prepare for their highly anticipated boxing comeback fights.
10 seconds! Super focused. Super motivated.
You gonna feel all this shit we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35 for 12.
The training camp inside Fannin Boxing confirms that Tank has officially left Calvin Ford to join forces with Jose Benavidez Sr. This shocking alliance immediately raises massive questions about what this dramatic shift means for the champion's motivation and future skill set.
And it seems like it's official that Gervonta Davis has a new trainer named Jose Benavidez. In this video, though, because there's a lot of conversations going on about what this means for Gervonta Davis as far as his skill set, as far as like his motivation to be in boxing, and whether or not Jose Benavidez Sr. can ignite that fire in Gervonta Davis. Well, in this video, I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about a real reason for what took place in Gervonta Davis's camp. And one of the reasons that he's no longer with Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. And I think it's an important thing to say, because it's not all on Coach Calvin, it's not all on Coach Kenny, and it's not all on Gervonta Davis.
He then uncovers a toxic atmosphere of betrayal, revealing that the true breakdown happened because paid snitches infiltrated the fighter's inner circle. A dark web of greed is exposed as trusted individuals began selling out their private camp secrets for a quick payday.
I have been paying attention to that camp for a while. I know people in that camp. I know people around that camp. And I can tell you without a doubt that the major issue with Gervonta Davis and that particular camp was the fact that there's so many paid snitches in his camp. It was replete with family members and other people who, whenever they got a piece of information about Gervonta Davis, would try to go out and give that information to somebody else in exchange for money. So Gervonta is looking up at the internet, seeing what's being said about him, hearing this information coming out about himself, and saying, man, where is this coming from?
This internal warfare had been brewing for years, forcing the team to desperately patch up the leaks by enforcing absolute silence. You will see how a strict media blackout was implemented just to protect the fighter's crumbling peace of mind.
Originally, and this was a couple years ago, I remember when Gervonta started getting upset with it, and he started blocking people and getting mad about stuff, and he started telling Kenny and Calvin, that basically not to be announcing things, not to say things about who he's going to fight next or what he's going to do next, because Gervonta started getting irritated about that. I also know that Calvin Ford stopped talking to the media for a long period of time. Kenny Ellis stopped talking to the media about Gervonta in that way because they were appeasing Gervonta and Gervonta's desire to have that information kept in-house, right? So to the extent that they were having conversations that Gervonta Davis didn't want to have, they had nipped that in the bud several years ago.
The espionage ran much deeper than anyone expected, with underground informants actively weaponizing data on social media to sabotage his career from within. The speaker compares this modern-day sabotage to a legendary psychological warfare tactic used in one of boxing's most iconic past rivalries.
However, what happened is you have family members and other members in the gym that have connections with people that have Twitter pages, connections with people that have YouTube pages, and they continued, the people with the Twitter pages and the YouTube pages continue to pay these people money for inside information about Gervonta, and he got very distrustful. Now, if you think, okay, well, man, that's not that big a deal. You know, you go and, people know, it happens all the time where you have spies in camp. Like one particular incident that I know about that really enlightened me to that problem in boxing was when Andre Ward was fighting Sergey Kovalev, and Andre Ward was just being very vocal about knowing what was going on with John David Jackson and what was going on with Sergey Kovalev. And he was telling basically, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're drinking this and you're drinking this and you're doing that, and your problem was here and your problem is there. Andre Ward knew the whole thing. How? Because he had a spy in the camp. The problem with that with Gervonta is when you have spies around him in his family, in the gyms in Baltimore, you have people that leak information that are trying to harm him.
Sean Porter speaks on the unexpected comfort Tank might find in this nomadic high-energy environment. He questions whether a shared killer instinct is exactly what matches the champion's chaotic lifestyle.
I'm not sure if that's a great matchup.
I feel like there's some comfort there.
Is that what it is?
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some
They
comfort
both
there.
killers.
He's down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami, yeah.
It's Washington,
Yeah, he's between
Seattle,
I
Washington,
think
Florida, Arizona,
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
He be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might match the lifestyle of Gervonta Davis,
Yeah, surprising to see it. I think, but I feel like he's comfortable with Jose.
The discussion deepens as Porter highlights the mysterious spark needed to keep a fighter's internal fire burning. This new bond might just provide the ultimate synergy where trainer and fighter finally move as one.
And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flip up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
I don't know.
That's just right off the top of the head.
He likes to
seeing
move
that
when
stuff.
he wants to move. Too.
Yeah.
Anthony Burns steps in to question the logic behind this bizarre pairing, creating an eerie sense of skepticism. The hosts debate whether the new coach can truly replicate his past family success with an outsider.
That's a weird one for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. Pacheco isn't with him,
And they both are
right?
going.
Yeah.
now.
And they both are.
Yeah.
Transitioning to the sudden fallout, Sean Zittel admits the bitter feud with Calvin Ford makes absolutely no sense on paper. He reflects on the signature blueprint Ford carved into his fighters, proving his undeniable genius from scratch.
It's their business, but I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford, really. I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like,
that made no sense, man.
Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off, when he had promise. No offense, Truck, much love to you. But when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent. He has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did, and that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer. Even though Calvin didn't move the needle for Jahan Ingram over the weekend. Jahan Ingram lost to Devin Cushing. It didn't look like it didn't look like Calvin had a big impact on him winning, and he wound up losing to Devin Cushing. Devin Cushing, bigger guy anyways. But when I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system. There's a way a guy he builds from scratch in the Baltimore amateur program looks. And so that made me lend more credence to Calvin's work.
Zittel concludes by recalling a time when only Ford could rescue the champion from his darkest, most sluggish moments in the gym. It leaves everyone wondering how a bond built on ultimate loyalty could completely disintegrate.
I just remember like Tank being in the gym for the Santa Cruz fight, came in heavy and was in Floyd's gym, and he didn't like that spark didn't come and Floyd was trying to get it out of him. It wasn't really happening in the first couple weeks. He had to wait to he had a couple months until the Santa Cruz fight date. But once Calvin came to the gym from Baltimore, he like the spark started and the light came on, and I was like, you know, that's a bond. And I don't know, I'm just, you know, it's like I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through. And Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. But hey, you know.
Jose Benavidez Sr., an eerie cloud of mystery still hangs over his immediate future. Whispers originally spread that a blockbuster showdown with Kid Austin was completely finalized, yet the official confirmation remains dangerously quiet.
Davis and Floyd Schofield are edging a little bit closer to a fight. What are you hearing from that end?
Yeah, I'm hearing all positive. I'm hearing these negotiations have been progressing in a very positive way between the sides of Gervonta Davis and Floyd Schofield. Now, we have not seen Gervonta Davis in the ring since that disputed draw against Lamont Roach early last year. We have not seen Floyd Schofield in the ring since the stunning one-round knockout over Tevin Farmer last June. There were some plans back in April to get Floyd Schofield into the ring, but he and his father, who's also his manager, who's also his co-trainer, they said, we don't want any kind of stay busy fight. We want a world title fight, and they want that fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. Again, I am told a lot of positive progress to the point that they're discussing dates for this fight. They're discussing September, late September, or early October to match Floyd Schofield against Gervonta Davis for that WBA 135-pound title.
All right, I got one more for you.
Adding fuel to the raging fire, Gervonta Davis suddenly disrupted the boxing world by sending a chilling knockout warning to both Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. This unexpected threat raises the stakes to an absolute fever pitch, leaving fans wondering who will actually step into the ring to face the monster next.
I said to this, right? And I don't hide it. I said that I think that there's 3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
Yeah,
right.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me, Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I feel you, but check this right there. But okay, so you telling me you cracked both of them, right? But I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session. He didn't get no best of me. He didn't get no best of me. He did not get no best of me.
He jumped right off the plane and sparred Devin. Right off the plane.
No best of me. He didn't get no best of me.
Let me something, man. You can go on the internet.
And you know I sparred them twice. Right.
And Bill
took him out the ring.
And Bill admitted that. Bill and Ted both said that.
Almost knocked him out in Floyd gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you I almost knocked him out in the gym? Did they tell you that?
I don't know, but I ain't hear that.
Oh, okay.
I ain't hear that.
Floyd Schofield Sr. fires back with brutal honesty, blasting the champion's sudden media antics as nothing but a pathetic smokescreen to mask a coward's retreat. He claims the sudden social media callouts are an elaborate diversion designed to distract the public from the fact that Tank is actively running away from his dangerous mandatory challenger.
It's a duck. A duck is a duck. He just needed a big diversion to make people believe and look away from him ducking his mandatory person. He ducked us before he had the Roach fight too. He ducked us over a year. So a duck is a duck. That's all I have to say. Because if Keyshawn's supposed to be fighting Devin, why he calling out Devin? If he not moving up to fight Shakur, why he calling out Shakur? And he has a mandatory, so he preferred to give up his belt. So thank you. We have no problem becoming the world champion. The boogeyman done left. He ran. So that's all that shit is smoke and mirrors. They've been calling each other out for years now. All of them. Has it ever happened?
I don't think it's happening now.
So this is just a diversion so people don't look at him like, yo, you really ducked. You're mandatory.
The furious tirade deepens as Schofield Sr. warns that this toxic modern obsession with fame and easy money is entirely destroying the soul of traditional boxing. He argues that by completely vacating the world title and fleeing the division, a terrible message is being sent to every young amateur fighting to earn a rightful shot at greatness.
And that's acceptable. For the YouTubers, yeah, I get y'all. It's about money. It's about fame. Yeah, that's the Floyd Mayweather era. That's the era that's fading out. We of the era that you work your way up to number one, you fight the champion. Because that's what gives hope to these kids in the hood or these kids going through the amateurs. The hope when they get to number one in the ranking, they can have their chance at fighting for a world title. You take that away, then you destroy boxing. So, smoke and mirrors, man. The man gave up his title and hauled ass.
In the middle of this chaos, Devin Haney took to social media to pour more fuel on the fire by dropping a series of cryptic high-stakes posts. Devin Haney tweeted he kicked off the excitement with a simple hyped-up "let's go" before directly dropping a bombshell matchup stating Haney versus Davis. He quickly followed that up by quoting his own matchup post with the caption key seemingly confirming his highly anticipated showdown with Gervonta Davis. Despite all of these massive callouts and sudden fight confirmations from rival camps, the boxing world is still left completely in the dark regarding who will actually be the next opponent to step in the ring against Gervonta Davis. On the other side, David Benavidez shifts the focus entirely to his own massive master plan, confidently declaring his intention to drop back down and hunt down Dimitri Bivol. He explicitly lays out his ultimate goal to completely conquer the light heavyweight landscape and give the fans the undisputed legacy fights they are begging to see.
Posts. Devin Haney tweeted, he kicked off the excitement with a simple, hyped-up "let's go" before directly dropping a bombshell matchup, stating Haney vs. Davis.
Addressing the wild rumors about moving up further, Benavidez completely dismisses the idea of entering the heavyweight division anytime soon due to the dangerous power differential. He emphasizes that his immediate priority is to comfortably dominate at 175 pounds and systematically dismantle top-tier monsters like Artur Beterbiev first.
Yeah, 100%. We're going after Dimitri Bivol.
Okay, that's it.
I told you guys that's what I got. That's what I wanted to do, and just so the fans they have something to look up to. That's look forward to. That's why I give you guys my breakdowns, what I'm trying to do, what are my plans. And I told you guys I was gonna come back down and fight Bivol, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now I won 2 more titles at cruiserweight. Now it's time to capture the rest of the titles at light heavyweight.
The plot thickens dramatically as Jai Opataya enters the picture, boldly calling out Benavidez and putting the entire boxing world on absolute high alert. This sudden challenge injects a massive wave of unpredictability, leaving fans to wonder if the Mexican monster will be forced to detour into a high-stakes cruiserweight collision with the cruiserweight king throwing down the gauntlet. There is still no official confirmation on who Benavidez will actually lock horns with next.